Hello and welcome to RueshTV. I am Rush, and I'm bringing to you a Heroes of the Storm play. It's my first time playing as Li-Ming. This is my first time actually seeing her in my hero selection. So I figured, what the hell, I'd give her a shot. Alright, so I looked online for a couple of guides, and I found a single target burst build that I figured I'd give a shot. And with my first selection, I decided to go with Force Armor. Alright, came across a little bit of lag after I came back from Alt-Tab, so I just kind of sat in the weeds as much as I could and tried to harass Felsteed a little bit, but it was not really working out for me. So kind of just retreated to hide a little bit more. Here we decided to take the temples, and this siege machine just ripped me apart. I was able to escape with, I think it was 30 hit points, but Stitches was not so lucky, so we went on. I grabbed that and I started to go back, and it just didn't really work out for us. They ended up taking the temple from us. Alright, with the next level, I decided to continue up with this burst build, and I grabbed myself Charged Blast at level 4. And I wasn't really seeing the benefits of it. It really just hits the last target that it was hit with Magic Missile for an extra 191 damage per level. So it helped, but I didn't really see the benefit from it. We weren't really doing so well as a team, but we had a Necromancer who was just destroying all the towers, giving us boosted experience, so we were able to keep ahead of the enemy a little bit. So it just hit 7, and so the 7th level I went with Seeker, which just does if the 3 magic missiles hit the same target, the third one deals an additional 274 damage. So this is where the burst comes in. So if you hit the target with all 3, luckily, because there's 3 strands that, fans that come off of them, then it hits them for crazy extra damage. So that's where the damage comes from. Alright, this is where the fun begins, because we're about to hit 10, and with my 10 spell, I got the Disintegrate, which if you've played Diablo 3, that's one of the more powerful attacks the wizard has if you're building a fire split. So I went ahead and grabbed it, and yeah, the fun began. Alright, so temple time, I come in here with Disintegrate. As I said, the fun began. We're gonna get a good few seconds on it, and then here comes their team, and I think I could take on the world with my Disintegrate. Here we go, and I get waxed, and no big deal. Once I return from the dead, I see that the Butcher is low hit points, and I think I can take on the world. I throw a Disintegrate out there, and nothing really happens to him, so I try to get a couple shots in there, and just not very good. My first experience with this wizard is not going very well, but I'm determined to go and give it a shot. Missed an Arcane Orb there. You know, just different nuances for the first time playing this character. Just need to just get a little bit better. I return to town after that fight, and while I'm sitting in the healer's circle, I level up to 13, and I'm able to use a new ability called Cannoneer, which means whenever you use this ability, it increases your next basic attack by 75%, and causes to deal that ability damage. It stacks up to 3 times. So try and just make a living as a wizard in this world. So then the temples are available again, and I make my way down to the bottom one. Middle one, not bottom one, middle one. I end up fighting a Falstead and a Nazgûl, get chased out of there. I throw in a Disintegrate to try to be a champion. They both almost die, but I eventually just bite the dust. While I was dead, again, we leveled up to 16. I was able to pick Fireflies. It drastically increased magic missile speed, and it reduced the cooldown by a second. This actually made it a lot easier to get all of the missiles to hit the target if you were to set it up properly. And here I am again missing my Disintegrate because I didn't really understand that it was controlled by my mouse movement, which makes a lot of sense if you've ever played Diablo 3. I just didn't catch on until it was too late. Here we are chasing, we kill the Malfurion, and we go in for a little bit of team play. And the middle, I get Falsteed with my orb, and then we got ourselves a double kill. We're able to take care of the rest of the temple.
Oh my god!
And without any of my help, the Necromancer ended up winning the game. This is what you get when you play in an AI battle. Nobody wants to play the rules. Okay, here we go with round 2. I'm still with Li-Ming. And then I found myself a orb build that had more higher area effect damage for burst. So right off the bat, my first ability that I went with was Astral Presence, which means that my mana regeneration is increased by 100% while you're below 25%. So when you're below your cooldowns, it actually helps with your mana gain. I'm here, laning with the Nazgûl. We are laned up against what seems to be a Zeratul. I believe that's what it was, yeah. And we're just trying to do our very best against this Malfurion, but he's going heals. And healers are kind of tough low game to take care of. But we try our best to manage the creeps and not lose too much damage. Again, I take way too much damage just trying to figure out the character, trying to figure out the orb. I had a lot of miscues, but overall I felt like I had learned something when it came to playing her. Practiced my magic missile there, just different things So we came up on our level 4 spell, and with the level 4 spell, I picked Triumvirate. Triumvirate does if the Arcane Orb hits the enemy hero after traveling at least 65% of its base range, the cooldown is reduced by 60. If you hit the target within this circle of your Arcane Orb, it actually benefits you. One of my bigger complaints about the wizard so far is the fact that I have to heal a lot more. She's very squishy. And the fact that Nazbit was stealing all the heals. Alright, so with the level 7 skill that I decided not to get while I was helping them push, I end up getting Z's Vengeance. If you remember Z's Vengeance, it was a gem that you can get and upgrade for more damage in Diablo 3. But in Heroes of the Storm, Z's actually allows your orb to do 25% more damage to enemies that are far away, but will deal 25% less to the enemies that are up close. So you want to actually time that orb a lot better if you want to do as much possible damage as you can. I tried to get one of those things. Just couldn't get it before the curse went up. But speaking of which, we do end up getting our level 10, and again I grabbed Disintegrate as the best skill to get as a wizard in my opinion. And here I'm just trying to practice hitting Sylvanas with my orb. And it actually led to a team kill, but the mobs are actually ripping things apart because our mobs are, cursed. So we just kind of tried to counter push the best we can while being cursed, and once the curse lifted, then we were able to make a decent recovery on it. Alright, Hearth, and then ended up leveling up to 13 as well, so next talent was available. I went with Glass Cannon. Glass Cannon increases your ability power by 15%, but also decreases your maximum health by 15%, so it actually makes you a little bit more squishy. Granted, that's one of my main complaints, of being squishy, but whatever. After a little bit of running around and cleaning up their ads, trying to at least, we hit level 16, which allowed me to use another ability, and this ability would be Arcane Orbit. So this, if you are familiar with the runes in Diablo 3, this is part of the Arcane Orb, and this will actually allow the Arcane Orb to travel 25% faster, doing up to 25% more damage. So it's really fun to use.
Oh my god!
Okay, we hit 20 in this game right at the tower. Able to use the 20th talent as we get a quad kill. And the 20th talent basically is just Temporal Flux. It just allows your Disintegrate to slow enemy targets by 40%. And then this is what you call over. Alright, this is the third and final match of the evening, and I went with Li-Ming's Orb build once again, and I grabbed Astral Presence to start, and I head to the lane, middle lane, go bottom first, but ended up being pushed to the middle by the people who wanted to group together. Well, this match is, basically following the same builds. I'm going to list the builds in the description, so I'm just going to let this one play out. I die a few times, more than I would like to, mainly because I have a glass cannon build. So this is running at 4 times the speed. If there's any parts of the video that you want me to slow her down, add a little small clip, feel free to let me know. But there's a bunch of practicing on how to use the orb properly and all that jazz. So if you do like these videos, just let me know so I can keep going with these. I'm gonna post a couple of them without hearing from you, but that's only because I'm doing some stuff. But I would like to hear feedback. That would be fantastic. Well, just thank you and enjoy the rest of this video.